Everyone. Oh, there's. Okay. View request. Go live. Hi, everyone. We're just bringing in Sarah. Oh, there she is. Oh my gosh, my head is a lot bigger than yours. I'm just just putting in the comments, Sarah, and then I'm going to pin the comments so people know who we are, and then I will get started. How are you?
I'm well.
Good.
It's starting to get dark here, so I'm trying to
Oh
make
my
it
goodness,
light
yeah.
so that the Jebba Hut is minimized and the glory is maximized.
Oh, excuse me. There we go.
Just a touch of COVID there,
Oh,
Jonathan.
stop. Oh my goodness.
Not funny.
Let's see. I'm gonna post that.
Just gonna keep on the mask.
Oh my goodness. Where's my comment? I'm just trying to pin the comment. Thanks, everyone. We're gonna get started. We're starting at 3, and there we are. And I will take a sip of water. This is the thing about Instagram Live. You know, everything has to be done live, and so we end up with a lot of unavoidable improv, let's say. So I'm just going to set that up, and oh my goodness, my phone it was straight in the other one, and now it's not going to go straight. But anyways, you know what? I'm going to do that, and people
You
can
look
see
spectacular.
me.
You just keep it.
Well, okay. So shall we get started? Let's see. Hi, sir. So welcome, everybody, and we'll let people come in. It's 3 o'clock, and I'm sure people will come in. They'll pass through. But I wanted to take this opportunity to say hello to everyone and welcome to House Blend Live, the National Gallery of Canada's Instagram Live program, where every second week, every other week, NGC curators speak with invited guests. I'm Jonathan Shaughnessy, Associate Curator of Contemporary Art at the National Gallery of Canada. And this week, I'm thrilled to be in conversation with Sarah Fillmore, who is the Chief Curator of the Art Gallery of Nova Scotia. Hi, Sarah.
Hello, Jonathan. Hello,
Hello.
Instagram world.
Here we are. Well, the Instagram world, and I don't know, people are all over the Instagram world in various places. I'm in Ottawa, actually in my home in Gatineau, but the region, Ottawa-Gatineau region, like the National Gallery of Canada, always begin by explaining that this region is unceded Algonquin and Anishinaabe territory, and I start by thanking the keepers of this land since time immemorial, and this just wonderful and beautiful part of the world where at this moment we're covered in snow and winter is finally, I think, here and probably not going away, although there are some milder temperatures coming up. But I also would like to acknowledge all of the various Indigenous nations who call Ottawa home, along with the diverse public and community that Ottawa is, and in particular First Nations, Métis, and Inuit communities, friends, and colleagues. And so we begin with that. And Sarah, you are on the East Coast, of course, in Halifax, I think, today?
I am. I'm in Mi'kmaq, and I'd like to acknowledge that that's where I'm working and speaking to you from. It's the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. And the territory here is covered by the Treaties of Peace and Friendship, which the Mi'kmaq, Wolastoqiyik, and Passamaquoddy people first signed with the British Crown in 1726. Those treaties did not surrender the lands and resources, but in fact recognized that the Mi'kmaq and Wolastoqiyik title established rules for what was to be an ongoing relationship between the nations. And we're grateful to work and play here in beautiful Mi'kmaq country. This beautiful, beautiful place that has not quite reached winter yet, although the chill is in the air. It's more of a wet chill, which we call, Halifax.
What do you call it? Okay, yes. I was going to say, I mean, you never know what you're going to, it's not as though you get a pass, I know, with winter where you are.
No, sir. No.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone in Canada is getting any kind of pass.
No, it's true,
in our front.
No, and in our country, in Canada, it does seem like there's a give and take everywhere. Even the wonderful, beautiful other coast in Vancouver, you have to pay in other ways, right, during the winter time with that bitter cold rain that happens. So we thought we'd start today, Sarah, because this conversation was billed as a kind of let's see what's happening in the Atlantic bubble.
Yeah.
And of course, the week after we announced this talk, the bubble has burst. And unfortunately, I think for many of us, certainly me watching from where I am in Ontario, Quebec, it seemed like there was something sacrosanct, like that the East Coast was somehow spared of the brunt of the pandemic, and unfortunately, I guess that hasn't lasted up until now. So the gallery, as I understand, is closed. You're there though in your office, but
yeah, I am in my office. It might be the safest place in all of Atlantic Canada right now, but it's very quiet in the gallery. We're closed to the public, but we have been incredibly fortunate, Jonathan, and that, I think, I don't want to say that New York Times, shame on you for whispering our secret out into the world, but it does seem that once my mother from Montreal sent me the article and said, like, guess what? The Atlantic bubble seems to be a magical place. There it was. It was all gone.
Oh no. Well,
we have been so lucky, and I have to commend the forces that be that decided we're just going to take a hard line and shut her down for a little bit, and hopefully that will do the trick. We are no different than anyone else, so it seems like it's proper that we should also, we have the same burden.
Yeah. Is it what's the closure at this point? I mean, is it like a 28-day closure kind of thing that other provinces have been doing, where it's a particular amount of time?
Yeah,
do you know?
They have said they've been very clear that they're starting with 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
But it's
starting.
It's been we'll see what we're up against, and we'll see how to deal with it.
My work from home.
All I'm in control of is my own little tiny piece of the puzzle, which is nothing. So.
Yeah, right. Well, it makes me think back to those days in March where, my colleagues and I, our work from home started with about 2 weeks. Let's beat back for 9 months later. Here we are. So, but anyways, it's great to see you and talk to you. And I thought in the pandemic spirit, we were going to begin by, I was asking you the question. We haven't done this in a while, but of your go-to mask, because when we brought this up in our first run, you had a good answer for it. So what mask are you wearing?
So I love the mask. I love the mask art. I love seeing people and how what they choose to wear. And I'm sort of a basic black girl on most days, but our team here has put together these, I don't know if you can see Fluffy, these mod masks. They're a little kitty. So Maud Lewis is, we're all things mod here at the Art Gallery of Nova Scotia.
Oh yes, that's right. And I'm gonna put up a picture as we talk.
So our team has put out in the world some mod masks. Yeah, what you're putting up there is sort of reflective of this past maybe, I don't know, 18 months. Mod has become a very hot ticket. There was that movie, as you all may know, but we also launched a national stamp that for the holidays. Little mod winter stamps. This is, I'm sorry, I forgot to bring these out in the French version, but it's pretty cool how she's made her way all across the country. And what you've put up there is a little show that we did in China at the Xiaoxining Museum of Art. A year ago, we opened an exhibition called Maud Lewis and the Nova Scotia Terroir, and we had Maud Lewis's work and 6 contemporary artists whose work we also brought over under this sort of umbrella of exploring what makes Nova Scotia special. So Sarah Maloney, Frances Dorsey, Anne McMillan, Charlie Young, Ursula Johnson, Melanie Colosimo, really incredible artists whose work told the story of Nova Scotia and what was happening here. God, don't let me have forgotten one.
No, I think that was 6, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
I was, but you can let us know. People will let us know. No, that's interesting because when you start, of course, what are we going to talk about to begin a conversation? But the pandemic, and there's a mug. Is that your mod mug or no?
Also, Maud,
You're
yes.
just, they're just like, it's swag everywhere.
I'm so branded today.
So
It's
can
it's
tell me, can I order the Maud
yeah,
Lewis
you know,
mask online?
you can get the Mod gift set on our
Okay.
on our
Okay.
shop.
Well, you know, I think it's a way, you know, we should be cross promoting here because you have Maud, and I know that the gallery, one thing that been a huge seller, not no surprise, are our masks, and we've got actually a really nice run of Northwest Coast Indigenous designed and artist named masks in the gallery too. So it's, yeah, I agree with you, Sarah. It's this kind of thing where what people choose to wear, how they express themselves.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. Maybe it goes away. Maybe a certain part of it always stays. I don't know. But
Well,
yeah.
interestingly, when we were in China,
Hmm.
masks are not like, they are not a strange thing.
No,
Everyone just wears a mask as not everyone, but it's a
no,
much
no.
more present respect
Yeah,
for everyone in your surroundings. So uh,
yeah.
so it's not, I don't think it's going away.
I mean, you know, that's the thing. And I recall on that note, because it's interesting, because I saw you, I guess that's why China seems so, you know, we mentioned it because I saw you sometime last year, more mid-year, because I know you took two trips, and I think you were getting your visa for one,
Yeah.
and then we chatted, and then I hadn't realized that your second, the one with Maud Lewis that we're looking at, and Nova Scotia Terroir was so close to the moment we're in. I mean, I think that was December, if I'm not mistaken. You were, I mean, really, the pandemic was already, it wasn't here, but I think it was there. So it must have
Yeah.
been, you know, made you a more heightened awareness about
Well,
what we
we
were
didn't, I
maybe
mean,
gonna.
clearly we didn't, it was
You
nowhere
were
near
not,
where
yeah.
we were, and we didn't
No,
know
no,
it existed. So what we
yeah.
did here, you see this little house, they decided to surprise us with Maud Lewis, a recreation of the Maud Lewis house.
It's amazing.
And this was an incredible woman whose day job was a receptionist, but she had an art degree and was talented, and so they deployed her as the resident Maud, and so she painted Maud's work on the house, and it was incredibly charming to walk in and see Nova Scotia icon in this
Hmm.
contemporary art gallery in Shenzhen, China, and man, Maud's never seen it so good.
Well,
She had electricity, which she didn't have in Digby, where she was living in
yeah.
Nova Scotia. You know, it was a very posh house. So
Well,
we have the real house in
yes, right.
Nova Scotia, and
Yeah.
this was a totally different experience.
Wow. And you were saying I hadn't realized, and that Maud also. I mean, you said that she only went to Halifax in her life once. She didn't travel. So I mean, you know, the thought of taking her work there or anywhere in the world is something in a way.
Yeah, we found ourselves, the artists that I was traveling with, and my colleague Kathleen Trott, we found ourselves very protective and very proud
Hmm.
on her behalf. It was
Hmm.
really, it was very touching to be able to present something that is held so dear here, and an artist that, you know, is very important in how we tell our story and look at ourselves. To see how well the audience in this museum was responding, and how immediately there was a lot of love for
Hmm.
her work, and we just felt like, how cool to be able to be the ones who were the ambassadors for her in that way. Yeah, it was awesome.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing. And I know it was a big project, and it was a project that involved multiple parties, right? I think at a
It
government
It sure
Canadian
did.
level.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it was a real labor of love and trust on a lot of people's
right.
part. We had a colleague, Bernard Nguyen, who was at the Canadian Consul in Guangdong, and who really did a lot of legwork. And my colleagues here in departments that we hadn't really worked together until this moment. And now, and I think we'll talk about it in a little bit, there's a building
Hmm.
project that
Yep.
we're working on. All of a sudden there was this new kind of closeness between departments that traditionally weren't really,
Hmm.
hadn't had that before. So it's been a pretty neat little shift, pandemic aside.
Yeah.
We came back, Kathleen and I got on a plane. We came back on the 14th of December, back to, you know, freezing cold and normal Canadian stuff. And then we kind of like looked at each other and we're like, oh, there seems to be some kind of whisper of a virus. And then
Yeah.
months, not even like 3 months later, here we were shut down,
Yeah.
experiencing it firsthand in Canada. So yeah, it was
Yeah.
quite a, yeah.
No, and the grounded. I mean, it's interesting. Not that we were going to talk about this, but
No.
I've had a lot of conversations about the contemporary art world, and I know you have a foot as chief curator in a number of worlds, right? You're probably as a curator dealing with contemporary work, historical, the collection of the AGNS, which I know is wide ranging. But we're not. There's a lot less travel, and the sort of that last trip, that you might have taken before
Yeah, that was
not
it.
going anywhere, and it'll be interesting to see how that transforms. I certainly I'm getting used to, and my colleagues much more doing virtual studio visits that I think we're quite excited about. The one you don't have the intimacy with the work in person, but you can bring more people to it. So it's nice when colleagues, we can do it together, which is really nice. So we can have those immediate dialogues and things like that. So I don't know, trying to find positives, I guess, out of a moment. But yeah.
We've worked together for a number of years now, and I really enjoy the times when people get together and they're able to talk about what we're doing in our own worlds. And there's been a very generous shift to online discussions and people being able to share this way. And we certainly immediately were worried about how to continue to support artists and how to continue to be useful, and schools and the programs that we've been, running. We run a very active program with the Nova Scotia Centre for Autism and the provincial group. So those programs have continued. We've found ways of shifting to online delivery or physical delivery of packages that people then can follow along. So it's been, I mean, I'm in admiration of how people have found new ways of doing it.
Pivoting to this moment. So we should talk about that, because you and I, we've overlapped on some things. We've had dialogues. The last time I was out, I guess, when was that? Last fall, when I was out your way for the patrons event. I came out.
My colleague Rachel could tell us. It feels like it was yesterday, but I know. It was
just
a little ago.
I think it was last fall. But we also shared a catalog contributions for an exhibition which is up at Art Gallery of Nova Scotia right now. Ned Pratt, the well-known that One Wave. And I wrote an essay. Well, it was more of an interview essay for the catalog. You wrote a piece, and of course it was in the curator Marie Egan at the Rooms, who organized the exhibition. And I guess Ned sent me, or we corresponded over text around the time of the opening. I said, congratulations. He said, yeah, I'm not even there. Like, thanks very much. It's kind of, so, these shows that are happening, and we're doing the same. We have the Maura Davey exhibition up at the gallery that opened. Andrea Cunard, the curator, was Zooming with the artist the whole time in New York, and she never, they had a virtual opening kind of thing. So Ned Pratt, I thought we could maybe, because that's up right now, and one of these shows, which is a pandemic show, right?
I mean, it's an incredible show too. We're fortunate because we just closed, so we did have a period where people could come and see it.
Yes,
And I should also say that Christina Parker in St. John's has another exhibition, sort of a spotlight show for him as well. But we've also taken to digitizing the shows, I guess, doing like a digital mapping of the exhibition. And so despite not being able to come in physically over the next 2 weeks, let it just be 2 weeks, people can go to the website and tour the show virtually. And we're working with Mireille and with Ned they've done an interview. Ned's given us little 1-minute snippets for some of the work. So stay tuned, and we'll be able to post those in the coming week. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And yeah, I mean, it's and so we're sort of pointing to the website. We don't have any. We're not showing any images here, but pointing to Ned's work. I mean, from the Pratt, the artistic family, Mary, Christopher, his parents, and Ned, who picked up, and the photograph to kind of think about that landscape that almost, I've always felt with Ned Pratt, you know, he has the weight of the legacy of, you know, his parents who represented that place in such a way, along with
Yeah.
other artists that he
Yeah.
also references. And his work is trying through photography to find different points of view than what, you know, a tourist brochure might expect or someone coming to that place might
It is,
expect.
it is just incredibly, it's incredibly strong visual work. I mean, I'm so impressed by the rigor of that family, and I know it seems a little bit trite to say this, but man, I was looking at Barbara Pratt's
Yeah,
work,
Barbara
the
too.
cake, that show Cake that she did, and just knocked my socks off. Again, looked at it through the lens of my computer, but
Hmm.
this,
Hmm.
but this work that Ned's made it showcases Newfoundland and Labrador and those vistas, and then like strange, unusual intersections of visuals and really incredible compositions that you
Yeah.
write. Yeah, really
Yeah,
exciting.
no, it was, yeah, that, and I did have, thankfully, the opportunity to go out and see the exhibition, attend the opening in Newfoundland and
Mm,
St. John's
mm.
when it first debuted. And yeah, for the catalog, I did spend, you know, a few days with Ned driving around and getting his stories of place. And it was a very, you know, I've been out a number of times and had the chance to get to know him. So you know, it's great the show had a chance to have some, and hopefully it'll open again. And in the meantime, everybody can go online. And I guess just a credit to the programming and being able to get the virtual world in gear
It's
at the AGNS.
amazing,
Yeah.
amazing how that has become an important part of what we do now.
So on that, then,
Yes.
how about I got an idea. How about you want to plan a brand new building and a huge new
Oh yeah.
expansion project, but you have to do it all online? Why don't you, you know, would that be an interesting thing to do?
Oh, I don't know. Seems relatively easy. Why not?
So of course, here I'm just going to get to our slide because this is exactly what you announced last week. So in 2019,
Yeah.
there was the announcement that the AGNS did have, I guess, expansion plans. The design competition was finalized last week. KPMG architects and a whole team, which you can
Yes.
speak about, were awarded it. I'm just going to put the image up. This is you know, again, online. You've got a great
Design
website.
concept. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Really.
concept, and you can see so much on the website, and just Google AGNS competition. And I noticed you have the 3 finalists there. You have all of the rationale.
Yeah.
We can talk about all of that, but what are we seeing here, at least, because that's the building on the harbor front?
We're seeing a conceptual design, the winning team's conceptual design for the new AGNS as part of a cultural precinct on the waterfront of Halifax. So it is the Art Gallery of Nova Scotia. So it's the team really worked very hard. I should mention that there's KPMB, so Bruce Kowabara and his and colleagues on that team, as well as Omar Gandhi, who's an architect whose practice is based in Halifax as well as in Toronto. There's Elder Lorraine Whitman and artist Jordan Bennett, Trans-Solar. There's just an incredible team, Public Work, and the PR Hive. This is the group, the team. And we're really excited that it's a robust team that's working with us. It's not like a design has been plunked down on the shores in Halifax. This team has been working for months, coming up with a design that we are going to work with them to make work for us. So it's extraordinary. But you're saying, like, how do you do this without actually meeting? So we had a huge number of respondents, incredible group of teams that responded to the RFP from all around the world. We had a team of evaluators and met to narrow that group of almost 50 responses to 8 that we would interview. And then the shutdown slammed in. And so we made interviews with 8 teams around the world and did them just like this. And it was awesome. I mean, it was difficult, but and I commend every single person who was part of it, because people rose and they were funny, and they were like, they did a tap dance and they figured out their technology, and people did not glitch. It was just really, really special to see how it could work. And then, you know, an interview like this, we have like 46 people on the screen. And I know that students who
Oh,
are
wow.
at school now, I know that you all are like, blah, 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 boring. That's what we do all day. But it was big for us. So it was a big deal. And when we got to the 3 finalists, even then we kept thinking, like, maybe we'll be able to have a launch of this exhibition, and maybe we'll be able to have a launch of the announcement. But we have yet to sit in the same room. I have yet to high five anyone who is part of this
Oh, wow.
project. And man, what a big high five it's going to be when we finally get down to it.
No kidding.
So,
Well, yeah.
I mean, in the shutdown, so we announced last week the team. We also announced this incredible gift, the Sobey Foundation and the Sobey, the Donald R. Sobey Foundation, as well as the Sobey Family Foundation, committed $10 million to this project. So they've really jump-started the excitement around actually doing this. We have commitment from the federal government and the provincial government. And it's deeply humbling, you know, and you know, I'm not going to say I'm terrified, but we better not mess it up, you know. So we're working very hard to just live up to this incredible dream that KPMB and Omar and Elder Lorraine Whitman and Jordan Bennett have put together for us, how we're going to be able to take that into community and test it out and bring all of our communities together to try to reflect the incredibly diverse community, artistic community here in Nova Scotia. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's really exciting, and like really, and it's a beautiful, like the design is kind of incredible. I had a couple of other shots, but as we can see, they didn't quite make the grid of the Instagram square. It kind of, but you can see light and space.
Yeah.
The one thing, there is a video, the few videos I noticed online, one that Jordan Bennett narrates, and Jordan is an artist well known. I mean, these days he's really just kind of doing really, really well. But we had a huge, large work of him, Tepkik, in Abenaqune, the Indigenous exhibition that is just closed at the gallery, and so that was gracing our great hall. And apparently, he just won a significant prize for this piece.
He did. He won the Masterworks Award here, the Lieutenant Governor's Award in Nova Scotia. I think it was like 2 days before the announcement of the winning team, and I saw he was doing an artist talk in St. John's at Eastern Edge. It was proper. It was, as they say, a proper thing, because he was standing there. Amy Malbuff, his wife's work was there. Jerry Evans' work was there. People were asking him questions, and he was just. It made my heart so happy to see the pride that was so apparent for this work, and for the weight of what it would mean for generations to have this come to fruition.
Well, it's quite the video. You know, he really does articulate, I mean, the work, and I know it's work still to be done. I know it's work with community. It's listening. It's in dialogue with the elders. It's in dialogue, I'm sure, with a vast range of communities, as you've kind of pointed out. But the idea of welcoming space, a space where you could have all kinds of things happening inside. It looks like also outside is an opportunity. Yeah. But the shape, you know, just the form and the design, I realize this is just a plan. But the other part that came out a lot was just really, I guess it's Mi'kmaq worldviews around women, mothers, the kind of knowledge and like lines of knowledge that within Mi'kmaq knowledge base around, women and female knowledge. And so that was something which seemed to be embedded right into even some of the design forms as it's shared in the video. So it's really a worthwhile watch, I would say. And the one word that also came out, which I found, and this is Jordan Bennett talking, was, you know, I think it might have been non-colonial, or really what is this way of trying to create a form or a space that is welcome in the sense that that is, you know, those histories are, I mean, those are tough histories to kind of, for any museum institution, you know, any in particular, as we know. And so,
Yeah.
you know, just the way that obviously this team has come together to try to truly think about what that might mean. I think it's a challenging endeavor, and probably one that will, you know, it's one to be applauded, and one that I know is going to be, I'm sure, a very interesting, serious one, and have really huge conversations moving forward, right?
I can't wait. I can't wait to work with this group, and I can't wait for our community to be seen for the incredible, resilient, strong, smart artists that live and work here, and be able to showcase, you know, all through an exquisite form, some of those values that you're describing.
Yeah.
And it's
Oh, just lost your volume. Did we?
This is what happens.
That's
There I
okay.
am. It's the Jesus light. I lost the power.
Oh, no, okay.
We're switching to
Well,
manual.
we're off autopilot now.
You're in
Okay.
the tea. You're in the teacup.
um,
Anyway, what I just want to say in conclusion, how smoothly this can go here. I just want to say that the power of this moment is not lost here. The gallery and our team is just really really fortunate with the team that was chosen, and I do feel that there are too few stars in Canadian in the Canadian, you know, scene,
art world. Yeah.
period, but also in the art world. And I feel like feel really proud of the team that's emerged here, and I also want to acknowledge the other teams that were part of this. There is just a strength in the vision for how the Canadian museum could be imagined in this competition. We did this crazy thing where we were like, there are enough museums. Like, what do people say they want? And they wanted a place where they could come and be welcomed and feel, you know, not like some guard was watching them and following them around. So now we have to figure out how to actually live up to what we hope the gallery can be, but also make, you know, a functional building that doesn't float away into the sea.
Probably smart, yes, given your location. But no, I think that I mean, what it points to me is that there's going to be eyes on that. I mean, I think that knowing, also speaking from the place I work, and you know, just even dialogues over the last year with Sasha Suda, our director, you know, just an Abadakwane, and some public works in the public space. I just mentioned Jordan's work that kind of took over the Great Hall, and it's this idea of welcome is, I think, especially, it can be a challenging one, of making a space that hasn't always felt inviting to some, inviting to all. And, you know, and I do think that, you know, it sounds like means embracing much more than just the kind of, just the fine art experience, if you will. Like that's something that came out in this concept as well, that this is more of a place where, of course, you're going to engage with a collection, you're going to engage with top level programming, but you're also going to probably experience all kinds of other experiences, events, maybe, you know, art, non-art, whatever.
Well, I mean, one of the partners in this that I'm remiss in not talking about is Develop Nova Scotia. They are the land on which this is being built. They are the body that administers or keeps and programs, and they have partners with the Jazz Festival, with, you know, like the hot tickets, Rib Fest, Oyster Fest, you name it. This is the place where people have been enjoying those moments. So we've also been figuring out how do we engage all of that, make space to continue to have this like exciting, sustainable audience that shows up and, you know, slurps down their oyster, and then.
I was going to say, you just like, oh, we've lost your audio again. So, oh no.
still there. This is what
The
this,
bubble
I
is really,
can't
really
understand
burst.
this whole live thing on the phone, and then all of a sudden, one of my bosses is calling, so maybe I made a bad choice
Oh,
talking about the Oyster Fest.
oh. I was going to say, just stop at the Oyster Fest. You got me. That's it. Yeah.
I
It,
promise you that there is so much good stuff. There are so many events, so much that happens on that waterfront that we have to
yeah.
be sure that we're not, that we're able to continue that kind of good partnership.
Well, look, for any of us who have had the chance to have visited Halifax, especially like in the summer months, or at times where we know that it's a social place. It's a place that's never short for camaraderie and friendliness, and oysters, drinks, and that's all in jeopardy now, but it will come back. And I think this is such a great it's such an exciting story, and a promising one in terms of, and I know you're looking at the next 5 years, your ambitious target around 2025, what I
Yeah.
understand. So we'll have, expect weekly updates until then. There we go.
I'll be happy. What we really need is, we need people to feed in. They need people
Yeah.
to think about how to do this. What does our artistic community want to see? What do those who don't normally or typically think of a gallery and think like, oh, it's Saturday afternoon. Those of us who go, we're going. It doesn't matter where I am.
No,
I'm
it's a
always
good
going.
point. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So what does everybody else want to see and have it be and need? It's got to be useful.
No, it makes me think of some research that that's coming in around visitor engagement and empathy surveys, and these kinds of ways of just asking different questions about what an art museum and what a gallery is to people, with not specific questions, but very open questions about, how you feel there, like what are you, and no, I think that's really, I'll be very curious to see how this develops along those lines. And I'm just going to actually come back to you to finish up, Sarah. There we are. And take that off. So I don't know. I mean, we usually do open up for any questions, but we've already run about 35 minutes. So I think we've had a nice session. If there's anybody who has any, anything they really want to ask of Sarah, please put something into the chat right now. And otherwise, I think I'm going to start to, lead to my thank yous to you, Sarah.
Thank you, Jonathan,
for accepting the invitation to chat. No, it's really great to see you and to have the chance to do this. And, I'll take a virtual platform if we can't meet in person, or until we can again, which I look forward to. And I think that's probably, we can wrap it up. I don't see any comments. So thank you, everybody, for being with us. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate the opportunity to share what we're doing. Just encourage people to visit the website and learn more. And I've really appreciated the kind of support that the galleries received, and want to extend that out to the artists who are working in our communities.
Excellent. Well, I'll echo all of that, and on that, good luck with it, and we'll be talking soon.
Into cocktail hour, and
I know for you're an hour ahead, so you better get going. Okay. All right. So thanks very much. Bye. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Bye.